Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and today we're going to ask the question, should you be salvaging at Awakening 3, or should you be salvaging directly? We're also going to be talking about familiars, when you should release them in order to get gummies, and we're going to use a couple of tools that we found online and from Reddit to help us make these decisions. So let's go ahead and dig in. So if you've watched my other videos in regards to salvaging, you'll know that the reason we salvage 3-star equipment is because it does give us both anvils and it gives us uncommon weapon enhancement stones. It's the same for armor. If you salvage 3-star gear, you have a chance to get these stones. Now, if you do just have a regular 3-star piece of gear, such as this spear right here, your chance of getting the stone is only going to be about 20%. So it does take 6 spears in order to build a +3 version of the weapon, and that will give you an opportunity to get one, and then you'll have an additional 20% chance to get another one of these. Now, it does cost 50,000 gold in order to awaken this to 3 before you do desynthesize it. So the question is that gold cost worth it? And as I've been playing the game, I initially thought it was really important that you do awaken these to 3 so that you get the guaranteed item. That's a guaranteed anvil, a guaranteed firestone, and a potential 20% chance for more. I've since changed my mind, and part of what's changed for me, and I think you could justify doing it this way if you want, but what's changed my mind is I find it more important to have my gold right now to enhance other aspects of my character than I do to invest it in awakening gear to guarantee an item. So I do salvage my 3-star gear directly now, and I do salvage my 3-star armor directly now. I think there could be a case to be made to salvage weapons at Awaken 3 and armor directly at +0. The reason I think you might want to salvage weapons at Awaken 3 is because there are more elements and they are different materials. So they are going to be more difficult to come by. So you may want to guarantee that drop for yourself. Whereas with armor and accessories, you only have one type of armor stone and you only have one type of accessory stone. So you don't really benefit in Awakening to get like a guaranteed element, right? So when we're looking at salvaging kind of 3-star gear right now, this is initially what I think about. And, you know, that's the reason my opinions have kind of changed as we've gone through. And particularly as I've hit that +15 to +20 wall, I've been finding myself changing a lot of things that I do. For example, I craft accessories now in order to desynthesize them, right? So the gold that I could have put into awakening a weapon or an armor, because it's 50,000 gold, right? I can use that to craft an accessory, which will turn out to be a 3-star or 4-star accessory, which will basically guarantee me almost some form of accessory material to enhance my +10 to +20 accessories. So I've been investing my gold that way as opposed to actually investing in awakening weapons right now. So that's how I've been approaching weapons. I do want to talk about how we approach familiars as well. And I think familiars are a very interesting kind of a situation here, because when you do release familiars, you do get an opportunity to get materials and gummies depending on, you know, how far they're awakened, what their awakening level is. You can see here that my Petromaton that's awakened to 10 or awakened to 8 would give me 10 gummies. And the question is, with familiars, you know, at what point do you release the familiars in order to get the gummies? You can see even 2-star familiars give gummies, 1-stars don't. And how do you make it kind of the best and the most opportune for you? And interestingly enough, we did have a graphic that I found on Reddit, and I will post the thread in the description down below so you guys can go check it out. But this does show a graph of 3-star familiars and what the breakpoints kind of are, or if there are breakpoints for the awakening of familiars and for gummies. And what's interesting here is you're basically trading gold for guarantees. But when I look at this, I look at the far right column, which is average familiar cost per gummy. And I think there is something to be said for the fact that the average familiar cost per gummy, releasing familiars at 0 awakening versus releasing them at 3 awakening, or a 2.4% chance of gummies, right? You would have 2 gummies for 50,000 gold, an average cost of 20,000 gold, 833 gold each. Looking at this, I want to just release all of my familiars at 0 star, or as soon as I get them, whether they're 3 star, whether they're 2 star, because you're not getting an increased rate, right? You're still going to get gummies on average at the same rate. You can, again, probably guarantee and get closer to the rate if you do spend the gold, if gold is a resource you happen to have. But for those of us that don't have gold as a resource, I do think it is probably very good and okay to just release your familiars raw. Again, you know, I've seen resources that recommend awakening familiars to 4. This one seems to have awaken 3 bolded, which seems to indicate that the creator of this document really thinks 3 is the best place to release them at. And I really think, you know, it comes down to where you're at in the game, how much gold you have, and kind of how you're going to progress your account. And I think for a lot of people, gold is still a really big bottleneck, because once you get past the territe wall, there is a gold wall, and once you get past the gold wall, there's a material wall, and then once you're at the material wall, you have way too much territe and gold hanging out in the background. So I do think that there will be a point maybe when we get in the game where we do enhance them to awaken 3 before we release them, very similar to gear, just to guarantee those items. But right now, there's nothing wrong with releasing at awaken 0. It's not going to detrimentally affect you. And I think this has been somewhat of a misconception, because in my previous video, like following advice from the Korean side, they were saying release at awaken 3 only, or familiars release at awaken 4 or 7 if they're 2 star. And I really I had thoughts about that, and we talked about this in the Discord as a whole. And what we kind of came to is that you should just be releasing familiars as you get them. This is going to make butterfly farming more important for you, because you're going to be getting a better source of gummies. A lot of people from my plus 300 gummy video are like, there's no way free to play is going to get this many gummies. If you are butterfly farming every day and releasing these familiars, you are going to get at least 10, maybe 15 gummies per day from doing that. If you're doing, you know, all of your cookies and you're buying your cookies every day. So it is absolutely possible to do that and release these familiars and get those. So I think this is one of those power level things a lot of people aren't doing that could really help in familiar arena. Anyway, everybody, hopefully this video was helpful. Again, that Reddit thread to the familiar release resource guide will be in my description down below. Make sure to subscribe if this content was helpful for you, and I will catch you guys next time.